Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, who we have here today is special guest here on the Vapors Show, where we bring you sports and comedy from two active duty guys. We have a very, very special guest, Mr. Terrell Owens of the Cincinnati Bengals. How you doing, Terrell?
I'm doing good. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing wonderful on this evening. Very wonderful. So, got a few questions I'd like to ask you. You got a lot of fans here on the Vapor Show, including myself and my brother, which is our co-host. His name is Terrell. I know you go by Terrell. We're big fans of you and the things that you've done in your career. So we want to introduce you to our audience, the Vapor Show. And the first question that we like to ask you in sports, I know you hear the term "in the zone." Michael Jordan has referred to the zone as the rim getting bigger and the game slows down. What is in the zone for Terrell Owens?
I would say, you go through a game, and as the game progresses, it kind of starts off pretty much with a feeling. You always go into your game with a lot of confidence, what have you, and playing football. A lot of my success relies on the success and the abilities of others. So, to be in the zone or within the scope of a football game, unlike basketball, where you have control of the game, as you said, Michael Jordan, once he gets that ball in his hand, he's pretty much in control of whatever it is he wants to do. So with me, I have to rely on others. So when I'm in that zone or what have you, if I'm, making a catch or what have you within my first few catches or what have you, and as the game progresses, I'm able to, kind of focus in on the ball. You feel like there's not anybody or any defense that can stop you.
Right.
Equivalent of probably being in the zone would have probably been the game that we played in Cleveland earlier this year. Although we ended up losing that game,
right.
That was a game that I just felt like I was unstoppable. No matter where the ball was or what have you, I felt like I could get to it, I could catch it. I wasn't going to allow anybody to stop me. Prevent me from making those things happen. So it's one of those things, man. I didn't catch. I probably caught like 10 balls that game, but
right.
And then I've been in ball games where I've caught obviously more passes than that. I go back to my last game. I think it may have been like in 2000, with Jerry Rice's last game.
20.
Where I caught like 20 passes in a game, and again, it was one of those things where I just felt like every ball that came my way, I was able to get to, I was able to catch, and if the ball didn't go out of bounds, that's probably the only way I wouldn't have gotten to it.
Most definitely. And I definitely remember that game, but we have another question for you. I remember you playing injured through the Super Bowl, and that was absolutely amazing. Amazing feat. The league even implemented the horse collar rule shortly thereafter. This being your 15th season in the league, what would you say is your key to longevity?
Probably the way that I dedicate myself. That's just not off season, but it's the way I dedicate myself in season as well. And that, in saying that incorporates or implements my workouts. My in-season workouts versus my off-season workouts, my in-season eating habits versus my off-season eating habits.
Oh, wow.
All these things kind of factor in, to the way, into the longevity of what you're talking about for my time in the league. And so at the same time, you got to take care of your body. I work closely with a close-knit group of people that do body work on that does body work on me throughout the course of the year.
Okay.
It's hard to kind of not get bumps and bruises without it's just like having a car and you go through those being on the road and all these mechanical issues that may come up. You have to take that car into the shop. So
right.
That's pretty much what these people do when I get my body work or body maintenance.
Okay, cool. I know you and OCHO have your own show right now called the OCHO Show, and it's on the Versus Network. So I want my audience to know a little bit about that. What would you say you guys have learned about each other that maybe you didn't know beforehand as teammates?
I wouldn't say that I really learned a whole lot, being on the actual show. Probably more so during the course of the year, being in the locker room, being out there on the practice field, being in meeting rooms and stuff like that with them. Being on the OCHO show. I mean, that's just us being us.
Right.
We're able to feed off each other. I think our chemistry is very uncanny. I mean, obviously, we're great friends, and we kind of feed off each other, and the chemistry is great, and it comes off that way on camera. But outside of that, the OCHO show, I think what I've learned, about Chad is that this dude is a hard worker. Right. I thought I worked hard and liked to practice. Mm-hmm. This guy does, the same, if not more. He's going to push his body to the limit.
Right.
This guy, I mean, he had some of the quickest feet that I've seen to date. To be playing the receiver position, and I've told him this, several times before. His feet are so quick. He has great hands. I think he'd had some real strict and demanding coaches early in his career.
Right.
His overall abilities as a receiver and performance as a receiver would be off the charts.
Wow.
And a little funny thing that I found about Chad is that in meetings he liked to suck his thumb. So other than that, that's about it.
Oh, wow. I'm quite sure he really would appreciate you letting the E-Vapors show know his unusual habit during meetings. But we appreciate that here.
It's not just the E-Vapors show. I mean, I guess the E-Vapors audience or what have you, have many people, tuning into your show. Yes, they all know that about now.
Hey, Terrell, we really appreciate that. We know the season is winding down and there are a few more games left. Through this year's adversity, what should we expect from you and the Bengals?
Man, I think the most thing for us is just really try to establish going out on a winning note, and however that is. I mean, that's we got to start somewhere. In order to do that, we gotta get a win. We have 4 weeks left,
right?
And realistically, you want to try to win all those games, but in order to do that, you got to start with one win. And so that's what we're going to try to do this weekend, going into hostile environment up there in Pittsburgh against the Steelers.
Okay. Last question, Terrell. As two guys here, myself and my brother Terrell, on our show, we're both on active duty, and we're blessed to be able to give back to the community in so many different ways. Could you tell us and the E-Vapors show audience how Terrell Owens is able to give back?
I'm giving back, number one, just being on your show, and I think allowing the audience to really get a feel for who I am and what have you. I think there's a lot of conceptions about me as a person, and I think sometimes I have to constantly try to defend myself, because the media is so powerful, and
right.
They have a voice of their own,
right.
And they have a way of really getting their message out there, and fans alike. I mean, they tend to gravitate to the media, and they kind of tend to believe whatever they say is the actual truth.
Right.
And there's always two sides to a story, and just recently, just found out there's 3 sides to the story. It's my story, my version, their version, and it's also the truth. And so, I think with the way that God has blessed me through the number of years that I played in this league, he's blessed me, to be able to do a lot of things, take advantage of the spotlight that I'm in, and he's blessed me to bless others. And so I've done that throughout the community. I've done that throughout a number of charity things that I've been involved with, and that's all I can ever ask of myself. I can only do so much, and as long as I know I'm doing that from the goodness of my heart, then at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Right. And again, I'm glad you had mentioned that about the media and whatnot. That was one reason why I decided to start my own sports show, because I really watch a lot of sports, been involved with sports for a lot of years, have different friends of mine that are in pro sports, and I really see how things can get twisted. And me being a man of God and my brother, we wanted to bring a new approach to sports reporting, where we only stick with the facts and we want to report on the positive sides of things. And we know so many good things about you. I'm glad you put that out there, how you give back, and definitely by you doing the interview with us, you definitely giving back, to your country and to us as, two new guys out here in the sports world, new media, and we're planning on taking over and giving a new name to sports media by doing it the right way. And again, we know it's your birthday, and you really didn't have to come through today. We want to wish you a happy, happy birthday, much health, and we want God to continue to bless you. And my brother Terrell sends his birthday wishes to you as well. And again, Evapor Show, we want to thank you for coming by. Thank you, Terrell.
Thank you for the birthday wishes, and thanks for having me on the show, man.
All right.